Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a brand new video and we have a new topic of discussion, and that is talking about the mindset that rugby players have, and specifically today we're going to be talking about confidence. Now I've got a list here of just a few things that I want to talk about and how you can manipulate or take these things on board and how they can affect your game for the better. So this video is really just to help those who, may be feeling a bit unconfident. You may have had a few bad runs of game time and you just want to improve or pick up on the momentum that you previously had. So with that being said, let's get into it, guys. The first thing I have on my list is how to recognize your selection and being present in the moment. So I feel like this is a very important topic to talk about, especially as you get older and you start playing more competitive rugby, where places for selection are very competitive and sometimes it can feel very demanding in terms of what is expected of you as a player. I think for a lot of players, they can kind of get their heads in a bit of a tangle in terms of whether they're actually good enough for the role that they've been put in and whether they can meet the expectations. I think it's really important just to remember and remind yourselves, like constantly really, that you deserve to be in the spot that you are because you've put the work in and you've got the talent as well, which is what benefits you, makes you the player that you are. I think it's important to not get too wrapped around previous performances, as it's in the past, and you can't let previous bad performances or even failures define how you're going to move forward within your rugby career and your future games. So it's really important just to do a bit of reflection as well, look at what's gone well, what's gone wrong, and what you can actually do to change that to benefit you as a player and to move you in the right direction. So really just look and do a bit of reflection, guys. Look at what you think is your weaknesses, look at what your strengths are, and do a bit of analysis on yourself. If you've got video clips, if you've got access to kind of feedback through coaches or other players, do take that on board, because that can really help you and give you the reassurance that you need to be a confident player. The next thing I have written down is the power of communication. Being able to communicate is so important. I think not even as rugby players, as human beings, being able to communicate is how we function. And if you take that into rugby, if you're able to communicate on the field, it's going to make the game so much easier for you. The decisions that you make are going to be much easier because you know what's going on, your teammates know what's going on, and it allows you to play in a much more free and flowing manner. I think a lot of players kind of struggle to communicate well initially, and sometimes it can be a case of there's other players on the team who do excessive communication, which kind of makes up for your lack of communication and your silence. So some players can get away with it and feel like they can, but I feel like the more communication you can put out as an overall side and as an overall team, the better it's going to be. It's going to give not only yourself the confidence you need to play at your 100%, but it also picks up and levels up the confidence of the teammates around you, and from that you're going to be seen as a really good player to have on a team. Because a lot of people forget that rugby is a team sport. There's 15 of you guys going out onto the field to do a job. You want to dominate in attack and a defense, but if you're not communicating and you're not verbally communicating what's going on to yourself and to your teammates, then it's going to make your job a lot harder, and that's not what anyone wants. You want the game to feel as easy as possible, especially during games. The next thing I have is preparation building certainty. Now, by this, I mean being able to attend training sessions consistently and regularly to the point where you have the confidence knowing that you've put in the work, you've put in the hard yards, and all of that stacks up and prepares you for a game. If you're a player who, you're not attending training sessions regularly, you're not giving your 100%, and you're kind of, doing everything half-heartedly, that's definitely going to play into how confident you're going to be on game day. If you're the player who's gone out into every training session giving it your all, that you have put the hard yards in, you put in the effort, and game days where you put all that into practice and that's where you have fun, those are the players who are successful and the ones who ultimately enjoy the game and have the most confidence. I would really recommend to all you guys watching, make sure that you're putting in the effort behind closed doors, getting really focused in on your external factors. I'm talking nutrition, your sleep, and even your mental well-being. If you can nail down these external factors, it's going to make wanting to go to training a lot more easier and more of a pleasurable experience, and that is just going to translate into game day. You're going to feel more confident in training, and you're going to feel more confident on game day, knowing that you've put all the hard work into your training sessions. The last thing I've put down as well is having some social comfort. Like I said before, rugby is a team sport at the end of the day, and if you're not able to gel well with your teammates and, you know, have a laugh, then I understand how some players can feel quite nervous and quite anxious, you know. You all put a lot of expectation on each other's shoulders, wanting to go out there, play for each other, put your bodies on the line. And I think it's important that not only having that similarity in common goal on the field, but also being able to, you know, take a step back off the field, socialize, you know, integrate, and, you know, have a good time with your teammates off the field as well. Every club likes to have that brotherhood ethos of, you know, everyone is committed to the badge, it's all one club and everything. But if you're not willing to put the same effort into your teammates and your club life off the field, then it's not going to translate the same on field. And I think the best players, the best clubs and the best teams are the ones that have the chemistry. If you can have good chemistry, the amount of confidence you're going to gain from it is going to be immeasurable. And I think if you can have good social interactions with your teammates off the field, it's going to make communicating and all the other factors I've talked about in today's video a lot easier, and it's going to boost the confidence of everyone on that field. And that is ultimately going to make the job of winning the games for yourself and for your team a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable as well, because that's what we've got to remember as well. At the end of the day, we're playing rugby for the enjoyment, we're not doing it for anything else. So if you're not enjoying it and you're not finding rugby a pleasurable thing to do, then my question for you would be, why are you doing it? Why are you playing the sport? Why are you putting all the hours into training, into your fitness, into your lifestyle for this game, but you're not enjoying it? So with that being said, guys, I hope you found this video useful. I hope the tips and pointers that I've made clear in this video help you, and I hope it allows you to be a much more confident player going into your future games and your future training sessions, and I hope it brings you and your team a lot of success as well. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. I do appreciate the support, and I just hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.